I want to now go on to our fourth one, which is global initiatives. Why does such a small percentage of companies export? Because I know just from a fact that you had told me earlier, Jim, that 99% of the companies in the United States don't export, even though 70% of the buying power is international. So why do such a small percentage of companies export?
Well, exporting requires you to do business someplace else. So if we're a manufacturer in the United States or in country, what I like to call in country, whether it's United States, Mexico, Brazil, China, we're very familiar with the rules and regulations of doing business there. When we start exporting, when we want to send product to another country, there's a whole bunch of things we need to know. We need to know what the product configuration needs to look like, what the rules and regulations are, what the imports requirements are, documentation for duties, those kinds of things. And it takes a little bit of work. But because of that and because of a lack of knowledge, remember what we had said earlier, most companies have pared down their resources to just what they need to operate day-to-day business. It comes across as a really big deal or really difficult activity, and it's really not, especially if companies have engaged folks to help them out who really understand the exporting process and the markets in which the company wants to export to.
Is this a U.S. only issue?
No, it's worldwide. Companies from Brazil who want to come into the United States, U.S. companies that want to go out. The data is about the same no matter what country you're associated with.
And what would you say the biggest hurdles in exporting are?
Finding partners in country. Having worked for global companies like GE and Black & Decker and Sunbeam and others, I learned very long time ago that if you're going to sell product in another country, you want to have a business partner or at least a resource who understands how to do business in that country to help you get started. And it's the most cost-effective way to do it because you can decide to put your own resources in if the business grows large enough and is profitable enough. You need to understand brand and product management. A lot of products that sell well in the United States don't sell well in other places, and vice versa. But with some minor changes, some minor tweaks, some minor changes to packaging, to the marketing message, oftentimes that's all that's required to be successful in another country.
What would you say are the biggest benefits?
Well, if you sit and think about it, where 70% of the purchasing power is international, your opportunity to grow sales and to be very specific about where you want to put your products are one of the biggest benefits. But just as we were talking about maximizing enterprise value, the ability to be able to grow your business and expand to other markets has a big impact on enterprise value. And it's something that small companies should consider as part of their longer-term strategy. I'm not suggesting that they need to sell product everywhere in the world. But our experience has been that if a company manufactures a product, there is a demand for that product in other parts of the globe.